Welcome to FPL Bandwagons Game Week 8, the vlog that analyses fantasy football trends. First of all, I want to apologise for not doing a vlog last week. The reason was pretty ridiculous, but it's true. My dad's been doing DIY work in the house, creating a lot of background noise, and I tried to do this, but it wasn't really feasible. There was too much bang, 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 and you know the drill. What's gone on in the past fortnight? Well, English clubs are still struggling in the Champions League, desperately trying to lose that fourth spot. In the Premier League, Man City lost again, quite heavily, 4-1 at Tottenham, although in reality at least 3 of those goals were offside, so it's really hard to judge. Romelu Lukaku inspired a wonderful comeback on Monday night as Everton came from 2 down to beat West Brom 3-2. And in terms of Fantasy League, some big hitters finally produced. Alexis Sanchez, back with a bang, scored a hat-trick, and he scored a midweek. Eden Hazard got an assist. Even Wayne Rooney scored. That's how strange it was. The only one who hasn't still scored for a while is Sergio Aguero. Price drops, well, poor Callum Wilson. Torn his ACL in his knee, and he's going to be out for most of the season, which means he's dropped twice in price already. He was, of course, very highly owned because of his price, because of his returns. He was a popular player in the FPL community, and we've all had to transfer him out immediately. But there have been a few other price drops, just 0.1 million, and that includes David Silva, Yaya Toure, Bafétimbi Gomis, Joe Gomez, Diego Costa. But the first bandwagon this week is someone who was probably best suited to last week's non-episode, because in that time he was the first triple rise we've had in a very long time, Anthony Martial. The £36 million man had a brilliant start to life at Old Trafford. He scored 3 times in the first 2 games, or in reality 1 and a bit games. That's what inspired the triple rise, that incredible start to life, because the narrative was there for him to fail with that price tag. He was expected to be rubbish, and yet he's already drawn comparisons to Thierry Henry with his coolness in front of goal and his arrogance, but in a good way, a good type of arrogance. So with that start and those triple rises last week, I fully expected it to stop for a while after only producing an assist at home to Sunderland. It was quite a disappointing return last week. And the next 3 games for Manchester United are away to Arsenal, away to Everton, and home to Man City. So I thought it would have stopped there, but he hasn't. He's rose again to 8.4. He could easily go up to 8.5 soon. I would stay off the bandwagon personally. I would go for Juan Mata instead, who under the radar has been absolutely phenomenal, whilst Wayne Rooney, Memphis Depay and Anthony Martial have all been it. Mata has produced almost every week. He's been incredibly reliable and incredibly good value for money. The second reason is, even though he's the focal point of a top 4 side and could be fixture proof, those next 3 games are really rock solid. So I would maybe stay off for the time being. The second bandwagon this week is Jamie Vardy. The 28-year-old is already top scorer this season with 6 goals, with 1 in each of the last 4 games. The thing about me, he played in the conference with Fleetwood until he was 25 years old, so I assumed that his good form at the end of last season was just a purple patch. But to be fair to him, he's continued the form into this season. He's got 2 England caps now, and he's a very good price. He's 6.5 million. The reason he's a bit of a bandwagon at the minute, as well as the goals, is that he was the obvious replacement for Callum Wilson, as sort of a cheap third striker. What I would say is that Claudio Ranieri has come out today and said that Vardy has 2 broken bones in his wrist. He should still start at the weekend, but be wary. As well as goals, he's created 11 chances, which is more than any other striker. He's had 10 shots on target all season, which is right at the top. But I would personally, on or off, depends what your philosophy is on doubling up on players in attack, especially Leicester City ones. You see, the next 4 games are Norwich, Southampton, Crystal Palace and West Brom. A pretty good run. A very good run of fixtures actually. But 52.8% of you have Riyad Mahrez as well. So, as good as those games are, do you want Mahrez and Vardy? It's a lot of eggs to put in a Leicester City basket. And the final bandwagon this week is Daniel Sturridge. He is back. The dance is back. He got a brace on his return against Aston Villa last weekend, which is why he's risen once, although he's only on 3.5% ownership, so he's both a bandwagon and a differential. If it's to go alongside Aguero, I would say no. There's too much money in that strike force already, especially considering in the whole of last season he only played 752 minutes. That's 8.5 games. That, plus the fact that Brendan Rodgers has said he must not break Sturridge, so he's going to get eased into the starting 11 with some very tough games and an incredible injury record. Last season alone, thigh, calf, hip injuries. He's collecting them like a Panini album. So I would personally say he's a fantastic striker. He's one of the best in this league, but stay off the bandwagon. There's no reason to take this ludicrous risk right now. Price, injuries, just wait and see. Just wait from the heel. Team of the week now, and we've got 2 weeks worth of teams to catch up on. First of all, game week 6. As you can see, only 9 of my team played, and they returned 43 points, which is, it's not terrible. It's not particularly good. It's just below average, I would say. Game week 7, the week we've just had, slightly better, 49 points. It was all about the midfield really, because the defence and the attack absolutely bombed. It was all about Juan Mata really, and the assist plus bonuses for Dimitri Payet. So what I've gone for this week, well, I've stocked up on Manchester City players with Kolarov, Silva and Aguero. Got a couple of Watford players because they're away to Bournemouth. Bournemouth who don't have their star striker anymore. In terms of captaincy, well, I'm once again going Sergio Aguero. I know, he's not scored in a long time. He's on a horrible run of form. It's unlike him, but as a Newcastle fan, I know exactly what's coming up on Saturday. We're gonna get heavily beaten. We're gonna get destroyed. In either Aguero or Silva, one of those should be captain, because together, between them, they're gonna tear Newcastle apart. So I'm gonna still have faith with Aguero just for one more time. And on that note, best of luck to everyone. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.